After playing 3 seasons as a high school football quarterback and not gaining any traction for the next level, Devin Waters was desperate to prove to college scouts why he deserved to play on a Division I level. Truly feeling like this could be his last year of football ever, Devin would talk to his coaches in the offseason to see what he could improve on to become a better suitor for college football. Although he still wanted to play quarterback, his head coach would bring up the possibility of moving him to defense and playing him on both sides of the ball. Ready to make that next leap, Devin was down for whatever it would take to improve his chances of being able to play for one of his dream colleges. With no film or recognition as a safety, Devin would have to show what he could do on defense in only 1 season of high school football, and he was ready to take on his first game as a two-way player. Starting the first game on defense, he would have an opportunity to help fill the run lane and even land his first tackle ever on the second play of the game. Getting off the field fast on defense, we were able to show off some of the arm power we worked on in camp and was able to move the ball down the field pretty efficiently this drive. After struggling on the goal line and almost nearly throwing an interception, our coach would just move to running the football and we would end up just scoring on our first drive of the game. Although Lansing, the team we were playing against, was super run heavy, we were able to show great break on the ball in pursuit to stop big runs from happening all game long. In a crucial third down, our coach would throw us in our first ever man coverage play where we would play pretty solid and was able to get off the field and then would go on to make a scrambling throw down the field only 2 plays later. Our coach would call the exact same play back to back and it would work once again, but this time it would actually go for our first throwing touchdown of the season. There wouldn't be much more action in this game until the 4th quarter when Devin Waters would step back in the pocket and just deliver a strike down the field, and this one would break away for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Looking to get one last stop and put a dagger in this game, Devin would actually allow his first catch of the season on the sideline. But our defense would end up getting a sack and it would all come down to a 3rd and 24 where we were able to make a clean tackle, and now we have a big 4th and 13 with the game on the line. The quarterback would drop back and our defensive ends had great pressure on him and he would force a throw into the dirt, and we would go on to win our first game of the season, and it felt like success on both sides of the ball. After the first matchup, Devin would even have a couple schools interested in him, maybe even willing to offer him a scholarship if he performs well in week 2 against Shawnee High School. Most schools are interested in Devin's potential on defense, but he didn't want to give up on his dream of potentially playing quarterback at the next level and would continue to have great throws with scouts in the stands. Our special teams would quickly let up a score, so we are right back on offense, and Devin is still delivering beautiful passes on the run just like this one. After punching it in with our fullback, he's looking to impress the people closely watching as he would show off his elite hustle, scraping to the run on the opposite side of the field. Our coach would play us in the box much more this game, and we were able to get much more physical at the line of scrimmage and make plenty of plays. Playing a free roaming role in the middle of the field will hopefully allow us to show off some defensive playmaking ability, but we couldn't quite make it to this throw on the sideline. Our defense would get Shawnee to a 3rd and 13, forcing our coach to send us off the edge on a blitz, and we were so close to getting our first sack of the season. The game was truly never close, but we did have some highlight plays even in the dead of the 4th quarter, getting that sack we were so longing for. After winning our 2nd game on a much better performance all around, we still wouldn't secure a scholarship, but other schools started showing much more interest. The rest of the season, schools would become radio silent, and we are heading into the playoffs with absolutely 0 offers on our table, and Devin was starting to worry about his future. With this being the first time Hutchinson has made the playoffs in Devin Waters' tenure, he became nervous in this game, throwing balls he normally never would, and even threw his first interception of the season. Now trying to get the ball back on defense, it was a good thing he played 2 ways because he could take his anger out on this side of the ball, and he would actually get a good hit on the quarterback. But after forcing them to a 4th and 18, their quarterback would just chuck the ball underneath, and we would actually get a stop after the turnover. Once again, the offense would continue to struggle. After taking a sack, Devin would even scramble to the outside and nearly throw another interception before having to punt the ball on 4th down here. Both teams having great football players on both sides of the field. We knew a lot of scouts were here, so we were trying to show our best off on defense. Even if we couldn't make the play, we wanted to show our hustle. But we would continue to dominate on defense. Even in coverage, our team was playing amazing, knocking the ball loose. And once again, we have another punt coming, and this is a defensive matchup so far. Our punt return team would give us prime field position to go ahead and take the lead in this playoff game, and we would do so throwing the ball off of a play action and hitting our tight end in the corner of the end zone, and all of a sudden we have a 7-point lead. After an awfully slow offensive first quarter, Devin started to heat up and would deliver amazing balls to quickly move down the field once again. That big play would lead to Devin Waters scrambling out the pocket and looking for his first rushing touchdown of the season. He would end up getting it in the first playoff game. After being locked down the entire game, even holding Ottawa to 0 points the entire first 3 quarters, we would allow our biggest gain yet of the season on a corner route. Ottawa would start to move the ball here late in the 4th quarter, but near the goal line, we had a chance to stonewall a wide receiver after he caught the ball, and Devin Waters, the 2-way star, would make a huge tackle to keep the shutout alive. Although keeping this game that is already over a shutout is more of a pride thing, this last-second throw to the corner and fall in for the touchdown lit a torch under us to even play better in our next playoff game. After our first playoff win and an amazing performance, we would get our first scholarship to Tulsa while also getting some interest from other schools. Still trying to get the attention of his original 3 dream schools, Devin would continue to dominate on both sides of the ball in his 2nd playoff game, starting off with a 33-yard throw. Start to this game was the complete opposite of the last, as we were already hot in this one, hitting Gio Saria over the middle and then doing it again on the next play, hitting our first touchdown already. We would get the McPherson offense to a 3rd and 2, and being an undefeated team, we thought they were going to run the ball, but they just threw up a prayer and we were going to get an interception in this game, and our cornerback is already playing amazing. Offense would remain hot as we would hit throws on the sideline with wide open wide receivers all game long. It made Devin Waters' job super easy. With the passing game so open, they completely forgot about Devin Waters' legs as we would score another rushing touchdown in this playoffs, and all of a sudden we have a 2-possession lead. We couldn't get too cocky because we know this McPherson offense was the best in the state all regular season long, and we're going to make a huge hit on the wide receiver over the middle. This was a very uncharacteristic game for McPherson offense as they were running the ball a lot more than they were passing, and they were seeming to struggle to do so as they could not move the ball at all on the ground. We would force yet another punt on defense, and we're going to continue to throw amazing throws all game long on offense, and that would lead to our best play of the game yet, breaking a sack, scrambling to the left side of the field, and then making a crazy throw on the run, and we're going to have our craziest touchdown of the year so far. This would be by far our best game ever, not only on offense, but also on defense. After this catch, we would lay a hit stick and force our first fumble of the season as well, and we would end up picking it up, and this game is not even close. After having our best game ever against an undefeated team as well in the playoffs, we would end up winning this game, and now we only have the state championship in between us, but we also would lock in a bunch of different offers, including one of our dream scholarships from Kansas. Just like the first round of the playoffs, we would start off this game very shaky, even nearly throwing an interception on the first play of the game. We would quickly rebound in this matchup though, finding our tight end wide open for the first down, and that would later lead to us scrambling out the pocket and making a broken play happen as we found a wide receiver wide open behind the defense, and that would lead to a huge play that got us inside the 5. And now, just like that, we have a chance to take a 7-point lead in the state championship, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. This Mission offense is another one just like Ottawa and also McPherson, who was very good during the regular season, but our defense is nothing no one can mess around with. We would end up getting them to a 3rd and 10, and their quarterback would make a throw to a slant, and we would lay a hit stick that would 4th and inches, and they would actually end up punting after this. With our defense playing this good throughout the entire playoff run, we felt like we were not only the best school in Kansas, but maybe the best high school in the entire nation. But after that, on a 3rd and 13, we would quickly get humbled as we would be scrambling out the pocket and take a crucial sack, and now we have to punt the ball. With a quiet game compared to our last one on defense, we're going to end up actually getting a hit stick on this next drive, and we're going to make this team feel the boom. Looking to keep this offense from scoring, they're actually going to drop back for a pass and force a ball where our linebacker is going to get an interception, and we have our first stop of the game. With the state championship being played on one of his dream school, Kansas State's football field, we're looking to have one of our best throws of our season yet, and we're going to do so delivering on the sideline. That big play would then later lead to us scrambling out the pocket and looking for a wide receiver, but with nothing open, we're going to make a dive for the end zone and completely flop as we fall face first on the 1-yard line, but we're later going to scramble once again on the next play, but this time we're going to find ourselves inside of the end zone. Fast forwarding to the 4th quarter, we now have a 38-0 lead, and our defense isn't done yet as we're going to force another fumble, and that's probably the nail in the coffin. Now, not only are we the best quarterback in Kansas, but we are also the best safety as we led our team to a state championship and also one player of the game in the matchup that would also end up getting the Kansas State scholarship we always dreamed of. Despite Florida State, our biggest pipe dream school, not offering us a scholarship, we would narrow our selection down to 5 different schools as we head into signing day in our next video.